A massive fire started at the base of an electricity pylon, causing it to collapse across a busy road. Drone footage showed the moment the tower fell, resulting in traffic mayhem in Alabang, Philippines, and the temporary displacement of roughly 80 people. The tower collapsed on Wednesday morning, just an hour after the fire broke out. Close to a heavily used route on the Southeast Expressway. It's thought that the vehicle pylon collapsed as a result of the fire spreading from a residential neighborhood where it started. It's still unclear what specifically started the fire. Authorities stopped the surrounding roads as high-tension power wires fell across the main thoroughfare, bringing cars to a halt. The fire, which raged for almost an hour, impacted over 80 people. Report Muntinlupa Phil Star. Firefighters fought the fire until it was officially declared extinguished soon after 10 in the morning. This clip from a home security camera was taken in China on March 24, 2019, at around 10 a.m. The baby's chamber seemed to be the source of the strange noise that the maid claimed to have heard. Look at what transpired after that. The room's maid walked about moments before the ceiling gave apart. The baby's life was undoubtedly spared by the maid, whose intuition proved to be a great blessing. It was probably a long-term water leak, which caused everything to go bad. With all of the squishy debris, it wasn't as loud as you may have thought. This is CCTV footage that was taken in the Mexican state of Hidalgo in the city of Tula. The footage, which was taken on February 4, 2024, opens with a petrol station. Something doesn't seem right. In the distance, there appears to be a white, cloud-like substance that has consumed a few automobiles in an area. Those who are aware of this are also aware of what follows. Look it over. It appears that the white material that resembled a cloud was gas that had spilled out and caused a huge explosion. There are also several individuals observed fleeing from it. Due of their proximity to the first blast, 2 of them tragically died. In the aftermath, the area resembled a wasteland, with more than a dozen cars entirely destroyed. As the Mexican media quickly noted, this is not a novel development. Due to a comparable explosion that claimed 139 lives in 2019. Several cities in southern China have experienced severe floods this month. Perhaps the worst-hit city is Mazhou, which is located in the Guangdong province. It is only when this time lapse is observed in its whole that the seriousness will become apparent. The gates are almost completely buried by the conclusion of this time lapse, which shows how severe the flooding is. Sadly, this flooding has led to the deaths of at least 38 individuals. This is CCTV footage that was taken at a workplace on January 20th, 2022. Nothing unusual is visible when you look around, with the possible exception of the numerous stacks of papers, which are just typical office supplies. Because of how strange and unexpected the incident is, none of the things I just said have anything to do with it. The woman in green senses something odd as they carry on with their job at the workplace. It's surprising and a little terrifying when she glances down and finds her phone burning. She's understandably surprised by it, but things don't stop there. The phone catches fire as soon as she walks away. This is probably because the battery died. She did, however, have the phone plugged into a charger, but it's unclear if this is related to what happened. Tell me what you would have done in this circumstance. On July 15, 2020, a man in his automobile in Chile took the footage that is seen below. The man appears to be in a lovely area, and the dashcam film shows a pleasant day. It goes without saying that the man's situation has obviously not gone well if the video is on this channel. What he does believe, nevertheless, will still surprise you.
Entonces ahí, bueno, ese es un regalo sin duda bastante especial. Y ahora por otra parte, la familia Pérez que no tenga menos dinero, no sé si menos, pero pobres no son, digamos, que ni se lo están pasando por esto del COVID. A la orden común de todo el
A little automobile is attempting to impede him as he approaches a stop sign. For a split second, this seems weird, but then the car stops and a man in a mask tries to break out the rear with a hammer. The man knows precisely what's going on right away and floors it, getting the guy back in the car. This man's life is saved by quick thinking, which also likely scared off any would-be burglars because they never bothered to follow him. This video is from Brazil and was uploaded to TikTok by a user going by the handle Guilherme Botelho. The shocking thing about this video is how little information there is about it online. Not even a single Brazilian source that reported on this could be located. You might be asking why this is so startling right now, but when you see what was filmed, it will become rather evident.
This man actually recorded the moment his plane crashed in the Amazon rainforest. Not only that, he also captured the aftermath, where he's seen on the verge of breaking down, which is completely understandable.
Chegar até vocês aí de alguma maneira aí, mas a gente tá aqui. Nossa Senhora, nosso Jesus Cristo, nosso, ele tá aqui, tá? Então, pra tranquilizar a família que tá tudo bem, só estamos esperando o resgate aqui, tá? Obrigado aí, gente, reza por nós aí. Empenou tudo isso aqui. Tem empenado.
The moment his jet crashed in the Amazon rainforest was captured on camera by this man. Not only that, but he also caught the aftermath, in which he appears to be about to lose it, which makes perfect sense. He also demonstrated how the plane crashed and toppled over. Fortunately, he did make it through towards the end, and he managed to capture the exact moment a rescue chopper discovered their location. This has to be among the most bizarre and startling videos that someone has ever made. Please share your opinions in the comments area about this video. The footage was recorded on August 30th, 2020, in Hsinchu, south of Taipei, during the International Kite Festival. It depicts a group of individuals preparing a large kite, initially creating a sense of wonder and fascination. However, the mood quickly shifted to horror due to a shocking incident. As the group released the kite, it swiftly ascended into the air, unaware that a 3-year-old toddler had somehow become entangled in its tail. It remains unclear how close the child was to the kite on the ground, or how she became caught. The sudden realization of the child's predicament shocked everyone into action, scrambling to ensure her safety. According to various social media accounts, she remained airborne for about 30 seconds before onlookers managed to lower the kite and rescue her. Following swift medical attention at the hospital, her parents reported that she sustained only minor injuries. In April 2023, a bystander at a gas station captured footage of a shocking incident involving 31-year-old Kendra Nance. Uninvolved in the ensuing road rage, the bystander filmed Nance's extreme anger towards a group of individuals, culminating in a series of dramatic events. Initially crashing her car into another vehicle at the station, Nance inadvertently dragged a man along, though fortunately he escaped unharmed. The situation escalated as Nance collided with another car.
Hey, where y'all come? Where y'all got? Where y'all got? Where y'all got? Ready? Damn! She flipped the whole truck.
Yeah! You dumb! You dumb!
Get that. Jail over here. Hey, you almost just hit count my kids in. Lucky, mama, you ain't just hit.
Causing her own vehicle to overturn. Both Nance and her passenger fled the scene on foot thereafter. Subsequently, Nance faced charges including criminal property damage, aggravated assault, possession of a deadly weapon, and reckless conduct.
Jadi mari kita lihat bersama-sama. Ini baru terputar tadi teman-teman. Kita lihat ini ada apa dengan mbaknya tersebut kok. Bisa-bisanya mbak itu posisi tidur ini nggak sadarkan diri dan kita itu udah sakit semua gitu.
On January 17, 2023, CCTV footage captured a tragic event at a shipyard on the banks of the Chao Phraya River in Thailand. Nearly 30 shipyard workers were on duty, including several aboard the oil tanker named Smooth C-22. Suddenly, the vessel, an oil tanker, exploded while workers were still on board, resulting in a horrifying scene. Official reports confirm that 7 workers lost their lives in this devastating incident. All of the deceased were from Myanmar, known also as Burma. Initial investigations revealed that the workers were engaged in welding tasks involving oil-carrying pipes, though the exact cause of the explosion remains unclear. Fortunately, other injured workers were treated and recovered at a nearby hospital. On June 5, 2024, a video surfaced online from India, showcasing a dramatic event in the Upper Siang district, positioned on the contentious India-China border. Known for its sparse population and rugged terrain, this region is prone to intense rainfall, triggering substantial landslides, as witnessed recently. Initially, observers wisely stood clear as a rough road, became completely obstructed.
Nela. Mira, está. Ayah.
Moments later, an enormous landslide obliterated the road, causing a significant portion of the mountain to collapse suddenly. The sheer scale of the event underscored its destructive force. In October 2014, 2 videos surfaced on YouTube, filmed in Omaha, Nebraska's Hummel Park. These recordings follow Slapdog exploring the park at night in the company of his family, casting an eerie ambiance with candle-lit surroundings. About 90 seconds into the footage, prompted by his children, Slapdog aims his camera and flashlight towards a particular spot, revealing a peculiar cloaked figure lurking behind a tree trunk. Alarmed by this unsettling sight, Slapdog swiftly retreats from the scene, noting the figure's white face as he flees.
There's a blood trail and a t-shirt. There's a bloody t-shirt. Whoa, wait a minute. Where? Where?
Right there.
Where?
Behind the tree.
What tree?
That tree.
Which one?
That one.
Where?
Right there. Yeah.
Which one? This one here?
What do you think we're talking about? There he is. Yeah, go.
Where?
Oh, yeah. This is a prank.
Go! I just saw him. Go! Don't fall up the stairs. Oh shit! Get your flashlight, hurry! He had a white face. He had a totally white face.
Really?
A peculiar cloaked figure or entity is observed lurking behind a tree trunk in the video. Upon noticing...
Later, in their vehicle leaving Hummel Park, Slapdog and his companions discuss the inexplicable encounter they've just experienced. However, their attempt to leave the park is abruptly interrupted when they encounter something deeply disturbing directly ahead on the road. Upon witnessing this alarming sight, Slapdog quickly reverses his vehicle to swiftly leave the area, successfully avoiding any further encounter. Unfortunately, despite the video being nearly a decade old, there have been no subsequent updates regarding the incident.
Back it up.
Go!
I'm trying to back up. I can't. I don't want to crash. He's coming back in the trees. He's gonna try to get
Open!
us.
Close the window!
Furthermore, the mysterious white-faced entity observed in the forest at night remains unexplained, fueling widespread speculation. While it's possible that the footage could be a hoax, definitive conclusions remain elusive. Viewers are encouraged to share any insights or theories in the comments section. Nevertheless, this unsettling footage is likely to persist as an enigmatic and chilling mystery. An Airbus A320 was making a landing at South Korea's Daegu International Airport. The film, which was taken on May 26, 2023, depicts the startling event that occurred. Everyone on this plane would be in an even more tense situation if the man subsequently informed the authorities that he was under a lot of stress. And there are no words to describe the manner he accomplished it. Just as the jet was about to land, the guy, who is believed to be in his 30s, made the decision to open the emergency door. Luckily, everyone was wearing seatbelts when the jet descended for the landing, saving anyone from being flung from the aircraft, which would have been an unexpected way to die out. According to an official, the individual felt suffocated in the cabin and that the trip was going longer than it should have. Despite the fact that everyone lived, it seems sense that 9 of them needed hospitalization due to respiratory problems. Please share your thoughts on this in the comments area.
This is a video that was captured in court of 30-year-old Deborah Redden, and once it's playing, will shock you. The reason for that is because of the list of charges against him. Moreover, there's so many people around him for which there is a good reason. This is a picture taken of him at a previous court hearing. Have a look at the video.
Intimidating a public officer, a felony. Count 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 are all battery on an officer, the same named victim. Oh, and by the way, I do not know any of the other victims named in the criminal complaint. Those are all felony offenses. Count 10, performance of act or neglect of duty and willful or wanton disregard of safety or persons of property resulting in substantial bodily harm or death, a felony. Battery on a protected person, count 11, that's a gross misdemeanor offense. Count 12, battery by a prisoner, a felony. Count 13, unlawful act related to human excrement or bodily fluid, a felony. All allegedly occurring on January 3rd of 2024. Do you understand these charges?
You could be asking yourself why the whole court book has been thrown at this man. Indeed, there's a valid explanation for it, and you're probably already aware of it. Due to his acts on January 3rd, 2024, 30-year-old Deborah Redden is possibly the most well-known person on the internet this year. This is video from the courtroom where he made the unusual decision to leap on a judge. The most absurd thing is that only 30 seconds before executing this Olympic prank, he was begging the judge to spare him from prison, saying he was doing all in his power to turn his life around. One of the bus passengers who was compelled to get off owing to the extreme risk of this route, and particularly this turning point in this, captured this bizarre scene on camera. The road was very, very tiny. Additionally, the bus's rear wheel once slipped. Fortunately, the bus driver saved both his life and the entire vehicle by making the correct decision to accelerate. Given that about half of the bus was in the air, he was quite fortunate. A man lives in a storage facility with an apartment full of old belongings. Rumored to be haunted, the entire institution has become well known for its gloomy aura. But this discomfort is increased by the things in his unit. One of them is an unusual toy monkey that is said to be worth a lot of money. Ever since this relic was acquired, strange things have started to happen. The device is emitting unexplained bangs, and items are moving inexplicably. These incidents became so frequent that his co-workers and the facility staff were concerned, even speculating that he could be living in the unit covertly. He purposefully positioned a camera inside to refute these claims. The video that was shot would support him and show what really happens in the storage area in the Enigma attic. When the toy suddenly began to move on its own, The staff who saw it firsthand were quite scared. The establishment's owner also believes that other inexplicable noises heard on the property may be caused by this toy monkey. Thus, he made the hasty decision to list the doll for sale, in the hopes of finding a buyer who would be ready to quickly take it off his hands. The following video was purportedly shot someplace, and companions. Even yet, it is impossible to verify this information. This clip's origin is just as strange as the material it depicts. This dog, a truck owner, made the decision to pull right into a restaurant. He swiftly departs the scene after reversing, but this was no accident. It was later discovered that the man's actions were motivated by the restaurant owner's refusal to serve him. Naturally, given the situation, this is the wrong thing to do, and it appears that the police are aggressively searching for him, even if there is no word on his possible arrest. What do you think about this? Tell me in the comments below. The footage that follows was made public by Miami officials not too long ago. It displays a dispute that arose over a Tesla. Two ladies inside the automobile appear to be engaged in a violent confrontation throughout the event, which happened on Maryland Avenue. A few others in the vicinity noticed this and attempted to step in an attempt to calm them down. Regretfully, their endeavors would prove futile. A number of parked cars were struck by the Tesla's driver as she suddenly increased her speed. The women were swiftly extricated from the automobile by those who saw this bizarre collision, and it was then discovered that they were unharmed. Despite the fact that this cannot be categorized as road rage, the authorities detained individuals involved as soon as they got at the scene. The risks associated with driving when agitated are still evident. This insane vehicle pursuit took place in the middle of the night on a wet day in India, which would only make it more insane. Though it's unclear if the cars were part of a law enforcement unit or the police, they were undoubtedly pursuing the truck.
जय गौ माता जय श्री राम
The truck manages to drive through a voluntary 360-degree turn at one point. A second vehicle is seen following the guys on top of the truck, causing the vehicle to swerve and come to a stop. All of them began racing after the men, but it's still unclear who they were. The following video is body cam footage from police in South Yorkshire, England, showing Azam interacting with Damien Bendall. Bendall had called the police to report an incident. Upon their arrival, officers noticed blood on Bendall's hands and asked if he had injured himself. Bendall admitted that he had, saying he stabbed himself in the chest and stomach. What happens next is highly disturbing.
Alright, come to me. Mate, have you got anything on you that you shouldn't have?
No, there's no weapons.
Right.
Right, do you just want to undo your coat? Have you armed yourself?
Yeah.
You have?
Have you stabbed yourself, mate?
I can see blood on your hands.
Yeah.
Anywhere else?
Just my chest, 4 inches in with a bread knife.
Can we have a look?
Yeah, and one on the stomach. I bled quite well.
Right, do you want to
Yeah.
yes.
Can we go down
No, just stay there.
I just don't want to be in front of her.
Alright, just go around the corner. Alright, stand here. Stay here.
Right,
So,
we're told, I know what's going to happen to you now, mate.
Well, I know it's going to
We
happen
just-
to go to prison again.
Why, have you done something to anyone else?
Yeah.
What have you done?
I've murdered 4 people.
I'm compliant, but he's got some stab wounds to his chest. They're not oozing blood, but he's saying that his family are inside and that he believes he has murdered them. Are you alright for me to go in? Damien, it's 07:47 hours. I'm arresting you on suspicion of murder. You don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence. Do not mention when questioned something later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. Your arrest is necessary to protect you from harm, to prevent your disappearance, for a prompt and effective investigation.
Though initially uncertain, the police entered the house to investigate further and discovered the bodies of Terry Harris, John Paul Lacey Bennett, and Connie Gant. The officer wearing the body cam can be heard breathing heavily after seeing the scene inside the house, a completely understandable response given the circumstances. Damien Bendall has since been sentenced to life in prison for his horrific actions. In her dimly lit room, the girl feels a wave of unease as she senses an unseen presence watching her. Determined to capture evidence of the paranormal activity plaguing her, she grabs her camera and starts recording. Without her knowledge, while she concentrates on the eerie atmosphere, a strange figure appears on the couch behind her.
I upcycled, and I swear that sometimes you can see stuff in the background of the mirror that isn't actually there in real life. So I'm just gonna do a couple back and forths, but I'm curious to see if anyone sees anything that maybe I didn't catch. So here we go. There's the mirror. Okay, so that's the background. Once again, my apartment. Wait, did you hear that?
Completely unaware of the sinister entity lurking just out of her sight, she continues to document her harrowing experience, oblivious to the chilling truth reflected back at her. The incident initially appeared to be a routine rush-hour traffic accident on the streets of London, but it quickly turned terrifying as Joshua Gardner, 18, attacked a car with a zombie knife. The footage showed Gardner, then 17, repeatedly battering the vehicle, smashing a window and thrusting the weapon inside. The driver, age 19, managed to escape on foot. Gardner, from Thornton Heath, was carrying a banned weapon designed to glamorize violence. He pleaded guilty to affray and possession of an offensive weapon, and was found guilty of attempting to cause GBH with intent. The attack occurred in May during rush hour, leaving bystanders horrified. Despite his previous kidnapping ordeal, which the judge acknowledged, Gardner was sentenced to wear an electronic tag and perform community service to prevent future incidents. A homeless man is being celebrated as a hero after he bravely climbed a 3-story building engulfed in flames to rescue 25 dogs stranded on the roof. The fire started at a recycling plant in Gomorrah, Lima, and spread to a nearby residential building on Friday. Sebastian Arias, a Colombian national, recounted to Latina television that he was on his way back to his shelter near a bridge, thinking about his recently deceased wife, who had just discovered she was pregnant.
¡Qué loco! ¡Es un héroe!
They noticed the burning building and the dogs in peril. Video footage of the daring rescue captures Arias sliding across the balcony railing of a third-floor apartment and breaking a window as onlookers cheered him on. He climbed onto the window ledge and made his way to the roof, where the last of the 25 dogs were trying to escape the thick smoke. Arias maneuvered to the corner of the building, seized one of the dogs perched on top of a column, and safely tossed it down to the waiting crowd below. Despite a ladder set up by one of the 8 fire department units battling the blaze to reach the second-floor balcony, Arias opted to jump to the ground instead. Arias, who owns 3 dogs himself, expressed that his deep love for his pets and his aversion to the thought of them perishing in the fire compelled him to risk his life, despite his fear of heights, to save the trapped dogs. On May 6, 2024, Birdsville, Oklahoma experienced a devastating tornado rated preliminarily as F4. The tornado wreaked havoc as debris flew through the air, and tornado sirens echoed in the distance. Unfortunately, the Hampton Inn Hotel was directly in the tornado's path, though fortunately guests were alerted beforehand. The tornado struck the hotel with extreme force. Causing power outages and debris impacts on the building. The entire experience was harrowing, further emphasized by additional footage capturing a tornado in Barnsdall. The video showed the tornado illuminated by flashes of lightning, creating an eerie and unsettling scene. The next video, recorded at a construction site, depicts 2 men observing their crane in action. Though the exact location and time of recording are unclear, the video was initially shared on Telegram by a source from Kazakhstan, suggesting it may have originated there. In the footage, the men watch as the crane begins its operation. Suddenly, the crane starts to bend and then collapses. The structure falls perilously close to one of the men, almost hitting him directly. Miraculously, he manages to escape as the crane overturns exactly where he had been standing moments before. Had the man stayed in place and continued watching as he initially did, the situation could have turned tragic. Thankfully, his quick reaction allowed him to evade danger just in time. This video, originating from Mexico, was captured and uploaded to various social media platforms on March 7, 2021. It depicts a man working for a hot air balloon tour company in San Juan, Teotihuacan. The balloons look mesmerizing, but onlookers soon witnessed a horrifying event involving one of the workers. The unfortunate man was hanging from a rising balloon. Among the possible scary events one could witness, this ranks quite high.
¡Aguanta! ¡No mames! ¡No mames! ¡No mames! ¡No chingues!
The man's strength was noteworthy. While many videos show people falling due to inadequate grip strength, this man held on. The most terrifying part of the video is towards the end when it seemed he was about to fall, but was thankfully saved by the line as the balloon slowly descended. After this ordeal, the man was found to have no injury. The CCTV footage from T&G Jewelers in Sunnyvale, California, recorded on June 12, 2024, shows an empty jewelry shop, indicating it may have been closed to the public. Just before 1:30 p.m., Sunnyvale officers arrived at the scene, capturing the unfolding events on 2 different cameras. What followed was a shocking incident. Watch closely. A group of 20 individuals stormed the jewelry shop with the intent to rob it. This wasn't a typical robbery, but appeared to be organized crime, given the level of planning involved. The man at the front of the shop was the first victim, and understandably terrified for his life. It appeared one of the robbers also took his belongings, although police reports did not confirm this. Nevertheless, police stated the group fled with jewelry, leading them on multiple pursuits. This video recently went viral on Instagram Reels, although details regarding its location, date, and the person who recorded it remain unknown. Like many viral reels, it showcases something that is not only unsettling, but also profoundly shocking. Initially, the recording begins with the man casually commenting on the view, but then takes an unexpected turn.
These are mosquitoes?
Yeah, if you step on them, you're going to smash them and make it really hard to get to clean them up.
No worries. Holy cow.
In the video, the man is seen calmly sweeping a pile of mosquitoes as if they were leaves fallen from trees. What adds to the shock is that he proceeds to pick up the mosquitoes with his bare hands. Many viewers expressed discomfort, understandably so. However, the most astonishing aspect of the video is the sheer number of mosquitoes and how the individuals managed to handle them. Share your thoughts on this unusual video in the comments section below. In January 2012, footage from Libya captured a ceremony disrupted by a Libyan military helicopter flying too close. inadvertently causing chaos by blowing away the sole tent set up for the event. Notably, one individual was observed being swept away with the tent, though their condition was never disclosed by media reports. On June 14, 2024, at Oaks Amusement Park in Portland, Oregon, video footage captured an incident involving the Atmosphere, a pendulum ride introduced in 2021 that swings riders upside down. Unexpectedly, the ride malfunctioned while inverted, forcing riders to hang in that position for several terrifying minutes. Shortly after the incident, the park declared an evacuation and closure. Authorities were alerted. This video, recorded on May 25th in Sweden by a woman from her balcony, captured a chilling incident involving her ex-partner. The footage shows him using a ladder to attempt to reach her apartment, armed with rocks and a knife, unbeknownst to her at the time. The woman desperately tries to keep him at bay, attempting to prevent him from entering forcefully.
Stege. En stege. Okej.
Vad gör du, Mohammed?
Ska vi bara gå in?
Vad gör du?
Ingenting. Jag vill bara ta middag, Maria. Vad vill du? Du har stått och pratat med mig länge nog. Jag säger jag tycker synd om dig. Gå härifrån.
Mohammed, du kommer inte upp här. Du kommer inte in i mitt hem. Du kommer inte in i mitt hem, Mohammed. Du kommer inte in i mitt hem. Han högg mig med en kniv, Maria. Han högg mig med en kniv. Han högg mig med en kniv. Du, han krossade glaset. Släpp in mig på dassen, han kommer in. Han kommer in, Maria. Mohammed, hugg du. Mohammed, du högg mig redan. Mohammed.
Despite her efforts, he strikes her multiple times and eventually breaks through the balcony window, gaining entry. Upon the arrival of the police, they apprehended him and discovered that he had already stabbed the woman's friend, indicating he had more sinister intentions. As a result, he was sentenced to 2 years in prison and banned from entering Sweden for a minimum of 10 years. A few days ago, this video was uploaded to social media accounts in Indonesia, and it has since spread throughout the country. A little town on the island of Sulawesi, which is famous for its hilly landscape and coral reefs, was the location where the movie was really taken. In addition to that, it is a habitat for a wide range of snake species, which is precisely what these individuals refer to it as. That isn't the reason for the hectic atmosphere, though, since the snake itself surprised locals. Make careful to look at both ends of the snake. The discovery of a snake with 2 heads was made by the people living in the nearby village. This snake, which seems to be a species of rattlesnake, possesses 2 heads that are completely formed and is able to move and operate normally regardless of its appearance. Simply put, this is surprising. In addition, the snake itself is being cared for by local wildlife officials, who are doing research on the snake and attempting to discover the most effective way to care for and preserve it. Due to the fact that 2-headed snakes are relatively uncommon, this finding has sparked a great deal of curiosity and excitement among those who are passionate about animals. A few days ago, South Africa had fairly severe weather occurrences in its coastal region of KwaZulu-Natal. What's even stranger is the fact that tornadoes were reported, which is an incredibly unusual phenomenon. It is so uncommon that one of the viewers of this station stated that he has never witnessed a tornado in his entire life.
Check this tornado, hurricane, whatever it is. Look at all the debris flowing in the sky there. This is believed to have passed the toll gates. Look at this thing. It is so huge. For this to be here, look at the wind. Oh, we need to get out of the storm, my baby. Look at it, look at it, look at it. We're going to get hail here now. This is such a up. Oh my gosh.
Just in the video.
This devastating weather has resulted in 11 people sadly passing away, with at least another 50 being injured.
This horrific weather has led in 11 individuals regrettably passing away, with at least another 50 being wounded. According to the South African authorities, 2 tornadoes were verified, with one being filmed by these folks who were on the road in their automobiles. This video is by far the most strange one you will watch today. It's not quite known what nation it was recorded in, but the prevailing belief is that this is someplace in Russia or in a Central Asian country such as Kazakhstan or Uzbekistan. It reveals 2 guys in a vehicle were recording as he rolled up to a police roadblock. For whatever reason, though, they opted not to stop for the cops. And what occurs next is the reason this film is described as weird. The police officer opted not to step aside and kept his position. Strangely, this didn't appear to worry the man driving the car, and he proceeded on as if nothing had occurred. All the time the cop was looking him down. It appeared like the cop was too stunned to do anything as he opted to hold on, which was definitely the safest move. Although this video doesn't show anyone getting wounded, the topic is nonetheless pretty alarming. Jet skis are little watercraft that can reach up to speeds of 70 miles per hour. Their size is especially obvious when contrasted to boats. This man, who also had a camera connected to him, chose to take his jet ski near to a large cargo ship. Of course, it's very apparent what occurred next. The man was undoubtedly eager to see the spacecraft up close and wanted to try and touch it as well. Before he did, the wake from the container ship almost grabbed him off guard, but he thankfully managed to get away. The second time he wasn't so lucky as his jet ski stuck owing to the waves. What came next is a frantic attempt at getting it restarted, all while smacking the side of the container ship. Although he managed to sneak away again, there is no doubting how close he was to perhaps losing his life. When a person goes camping, they would most likely anticipate to run across some form of animal. Most people would anticipate smaller ones, though. Nobody would anticipate anything like this to appear there in front of their tent, immediately as they wake up from their slumber. These folks were unfortunate enough to wake up close to a big grizzly bear. They were lucky that this bear was alone, as if it was a mother with her cubs. They would probably not be alive. That being said, it's unclear if the bear spotted them. People who saw the video were split on this matter, with some believing that he was merely a peaceful bear, but others stated that he never spotted them. I'd want to know what you think of this. Let me know in the comments. This dashcam footage was recorded on the 3rd of December 2019 in Seoul, South Korea. What it shows is beyond shocking icy conditions on the road. It led to a few cars crashing. Strangely, one of the motorists decides to leave his car, which leads to a terrifying situation. The motorist almost gets hit twice when he steps over on the icy road. Narrowly avoiding getting crushed by one car, and then rolling out of the way of a second as the cars around him pile up. As many as 20 cars crashed into each other, resulting in 3 people getting seriously injured, including an 87-year-old woman. It is said that the reason why this man was out in the first place was because he was trying to warn other motorists of the icy conditions and crash. Unfortunately, he was unsuccessful. The cars continued crashing into each other for close to 30 minutes, all thanks to the patches of black ice that were present on the highway. The ongoing conflict in Ukraine, now spanning over 2 years, has yielded a plethora of distressing videos showcasing the profound human and infrastructural toll of the war. Among them are countless recordings depicting fatal assaults and other grim activities, many of which cannot be publicly shared, but circulate widely on both pro-Ukrainian and pro-Russian channels. Notably, some of these channels feature first-person recordings from volunteers actively engaged in Ukraine. In one such video captured by a volunteer in close proximity to the conflict zone, a tense situation unfolds as he speeds along in a truck with companions. Suddenly, the unmistakable threat of enemy targeting becomes apparent, initially audible in the video's outset. Responding swiftly, the driver, who doubles as the videographer, accelerates in a desperate attempt to evade danger. The tension peaks as a bullet narrowly misses him, underscoring the constant peril faced by those navigating the volatile front line. The bullet hole visible through the windshield heightens the tension inside the truck, putting everyone on high alert. Fortunately, they managed to escape without further incident, likely due to the intensity of the ongoing fighting in the area. In a different but equally chilling video recorded in 2016, a police officer captures the moment they uncover Carla Brown, who had been chained inside a shipping container. Carla Brown was a victim of serial killer Todd Collette.
Go. Do you have any weapons? Cut me through, okay? What's your name? What's your name? Right here.
Lauren. Gotcha. All right.
Just a girl.
Just a girl. How are you, honey? This is
bolt cutters.
This is our best friend. He's a paramedic. Sweetheart.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we're gonna get you out of there. Okay.
Just hang loose for me.
Anybody got? I need a handcuff key. Do you know where your buddy is?
Charlie?
Yes. He shot him.
Who
did?
Todd Colehep shot Charlie Carver 3 times in the chest, wrapped him in a blue tarp, put him in the bucket of the tractor, locked me down here and I've never seen him again. He says he's dead and buried. He says there's several bodies dead and buried out here. And he says that the dogs will be ruined if they go looking because there's red pepper.
We're going to step you up because there's what?
Red pepper.
Okay. Tell the dog people that.
Also known as the Amazon review killer for his habit of leaving reviews on various items, including accessories for firearms and tasers. Colette was responsible for the deaths of 7 individuals, and Carla Brown narrowly avoided becoming his next victim. Detectives eventually learned that Carla Brown had been planning to work on a collapsed land the day she vanished. Armed with this information, they obtained a warrant to search the property, leading to the discovery of Carla Brown in the container. Further investigation revealed that Todd Collette had left reviews on the very products he used on his victims, a disturbing and horrifying revelation. The video in question evokes comparisons to the infamous Russian sleep experiments, often speculated to be real footage of a similar sinister study. However, the likelihood of this is slim, despite documented instances of questionable experiments in Russian history. The Russian sleep experiment itself originated as a creepypasta, weaving a tale of 5 subjects exposed to a sleep-inhibiting stimulant in a Soviet-era scientific trial. Which has since morphed into an urban legend. Yet, delving deeper into the subject reveals a startling truth. During the Cold War, Soviet scientists indeed pursued methods to enhance soldier efficiency, mirroring aspects of the story. However, it remains unclear whether these efforts involved a drug targeting sleep deprivation, let alone human test subjects. Moreover, the human body is incapable of enduring wakefulness for 30 consecutive days, a fact underscored by historical records and scientific studies. Decades prior, Russian scientists did conduct tests on chimpanzees, hinting at a broader interest in sleep deprivation research. While it's true that amphetamines have been utilized to keep soldiers alert during wartime, there is no scientific basis for the existence of a gas capable of sustaining wakefulness for 15 days, debunking a popular myth perpetuated by the tale of the Russian sleep experiment. In December 2019, Ashley LeMay, a mother of 3, installed a Ring security camera in her daughter's bedroom to provide peace of mind. However, one of her daughters, Alyssa, was alarmed when she heard a voice emanating from the room, initially assuming it was one of her sisters. To her shock, no one was present, yet the voice persisted, urging her to engage in misbehavior. Frightened and uncertain of the source, Alyssa called out for her parents. Recognizing the intrusion, her parents promptly disconnected the camera and subsequently removed the entire system.
Come on, girl, say it with me.
Who is that?
I'm your best friend. You can do whatever you want right now. It can mess up your room. It can break your TV. It can do whatever you want. I'm your best friend. I'm Santa Claus.
The hacking incident was later traced back to the family's reuse of the same email and password combination from a site that had experienced a data breach. This unfortunate breach of privacy underscores the importance of robust security measures and the risks associated with password reuse in an interconnected digital age.
You want? I'm your best friend. I'm Santa Claus.
In 2019, passengers aboard the Viking Sky cruise ship faced a harrowing ordeal off the coast of Norway when the vessel suffered an engine failure. The malfunction caused the ship to sway violently, resulting in interior damage as it continued to battle the elements. Numerous attempts were made to rescue those on board using smaller vessels.
This is the general emergency signal. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is the general emergency signal.
Alright, it's time to abdicate the area.
But the rough seas thwarted these efforts. Responding swiftly, Norway dispatched rescue helicopters to airlift passengers to safety. Despite the challenging conditions, over 170 individuals were evacuated from the ship before the crew managed to restart the engines a day after the initial failure. Once the engines were operational again, the Viking Sky was able to navigate to a nearby port, ensuring the safety of all passengers and crew. This incident serves as a testament to the resilience of both the crew and the passengers in the face of adversity at sea. And if you liked the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to our channel. In August 2023, a devastating event occurred in Ohio that deeply affected the community. Police in Blendon Township, a suburb of Columbus, released body cam footage revealing a heart-wrenching incident involving the fatal shooting of Kaya Young, a 21-year-old pregnant black woman. The dreadful event took place on August 24th, with Kaya sitting in her car outside a Kroger grocery store. Officers were present to question her about suspected shoplifting. The body cam footage, released on Friday, provides a chilling account of what happened next. The footage shows officers trying to engage in a conversation with Ms. Young, who remains in her car. One officer stands in front of her vehicle as she appears to move in his direction. He fires a shot directly at her. The video captures a tense exchange between the officers and Ms. Young, lasting about a minute before the shot is fired. The officer by her door repeatedly orders her to exit the car, to which she firmly responds, "I'm not going to do that." Meanwhile, another officer, positioned in front of her car, has one hand on the car's bonnet and a gun drawn in his other hand. Kaya asked, "Are you going to shoot me?" Moments before a single shot is fired, the officer quickly moves out of the car's path as the shot is fired. Following the gunshot, officers are seen breaking her car window as it rolls into a brick wall near the store's entrance. Despite efforts to provide medical assistance, both Kaya and her unborn child did not survive the shooting. Blendon Police Chief John Belford acknowledged the tragedy and expressed condolences to Kaya's grieving family. Both officers involved, who haven't been identified, were in the parking lot for an unrelated call at the time of the incident. They were placed on administrative leave afterward. The officer at the car window has since returned to duty, but the one who fired the fatal shot remains on leave. The video was shared with Kaya Young's family before being released to the public. In a statement, the family described the shooting as a clearly criminal act that could have been avoided, In response, the Blendon Township Police Department has requested the Ohio Attorney General's Bureau of Criminal Investigation to conduct an inquiry into the tragic shooting. In this body cam footage, a K-9 unit investigates a house following a murder incident. Eerie voices can be heard, and there is also the presence of a mysterious woman, suggesting something paranormal. The investigation pertains to the notorious Watts family murder. Christopher Lee Watts murdered his pregnant wife, Shanann, and their two daughters, Bella and Celeste, in Frederick, Colorado.
I can...
Yes.
Oh my gosh. What in the world is that? Wow.
Hi. It's me. I miss your face. I was just calling to say hi.
Yes. Yes.
On August 13, 2019, Christopher strangled Shanann, who was 3 months pregnant, and then drove to a remote site with their daughters. Given the unsettling nature of the footage, one might speculate if the girl seen on the steps is one of the daughters from the Watts family. The following video, captured by CCTV cameras in India on October 11, 2022, shows a group of locals with their bikes parked just outside a building at 8:30 p.m. on a Tuesday. These individuals were enjoying a peaceful evening when they were suddenly confronted with a near-death experience. The scene is truly terrifying. The locals were not disturbing anyone or engaging in any activity that would provoke such an incident. Nonetheless, an elephant decided it did not like the presence of these people and charged at them from a considerable distance. Some people nearby noticed something approaching but did not realize what it was until they heard a roar. The elephant targeted one of the bikes, tossing it as if it were a toy. The locals barely escaped to safety in time, and it is frightening to imagine what might have happened if they had reacted a moment later. Fortunately, the authorities were able to guide the elephant back into the forest without further incident. The footage shown depicts a recording made by individuals who were on a hiking excursion, purportedly in a jungle. However, the exact location remains unknown, leaving uncertainty about whether it was a jungle or simply a forested area. Additionally, it's unclear whether the person leading the group is the father or a tour guide. Despite these uncertainties, what began as a seemingly peaceful hike soon turned into a terrifying experience.
No te agaches, no te agaches. Párate.
trail through the trees, the group noticed movement in some bushes. This drew the attention of a woman wearing red, who investigated the source of the noise. It was then that they spotted a mountain lion which had allegedly been following them for some time without their knowledge. The video is particularly alarming because the mountain lion's posture and behavior suggested an intent to attack the child. Thankfully, no harm came to anyone during the incident, as the big cat eventually retreated after a few minutes. However, many viewers criticized the woman for not positioning the child behind her, arguing that this would have made the situation even more dangerous. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts on this. On June 3, 2024, a tornado was observed in Edinburgh, a small community in Alberta, Canada. While it caused damage to some houses, fortunately, there have been no reports of any casualties. However, the individual who captured the video, displayed on screen, managed to capture a close-up view of the tornado, which is both awe-inspiring and frightening. Following the dissemination of this news, a tornado watch was issued, indicating that the conditions were favorable for tornadoes to form. Reports also warned of the potential for strong winds and hail accompanying these tornadoes.